When selling anything, it's important to know the product that you're talking about so that we may best help the customer. Let's learn about shoes. A shoe can be divided into two parts. We have the upper, which is everything above the midsole, and the lower, which is everything below the midsole. For the upper, we have the tongue, which is the part that rests on the top of your foot. We have the eyelets, which are the pieces that the laces go through. We have the eye stay, which are the pieces that the eyelets are attached to. We have the heel counter, which is this that cups your heel back here. The collar is what your foot slides into. And last, for the upper, we have the toe vamp, which is the piece of material that rests above your toes. For the lower, we have the foxing. I grabbed a different shoe because this is a better example for foxing and toe cap. The foxing is the piece of material, usually an extra durable material, that wraps around the front and sides of your toes, and that connects to the toe cap, which is an extra layer of material that goes above your toes as well. Below the foxing and the toe cap, we have the midsole, which is the cushy piece of foam that rests above the outsole, which is where you get all your traction from. It's that piece of rubber that you always walk on. Now that we know all the parts of a shoe, let's get into what types of shoes that we sell. First, we have running shoes. A running shoe's main goal is to absorb as much impact as possible from your running stride. So a running shoe is easily defined by a very thick, very cushy midsole. The upper will be very breathable, usually some kind of mesh. A collar on a running shoe is going to be very thick and plushy. It's designed to keep your heel locked in place. The shape of the sole, there's a nice curve here starting from the ball of your feet that goes to the toes. That's designed to help you keep your forward momentum going. The sole of a running shoe is really only going to provide traction from front to back, not side to side. Next, we have walking shoes, which are very similar to running shoes, but they differ in a couple different ways. First is going to be the midsole. Walking shoes are going to have a nice midsole. They're not going to be as thick, and they're going to be a firmer foam. They're not designed to absorb as much impact as running shoes demand. They're still going to be nice and lightweight and usually have a nice mesh upper. And we're still kind of going to be in the one direction traction on the outsole here. A cross-training shoe is a hybrid design shoe for many applications. Cross trainers provide the stability necessary for weightlifting and gym use. Their sole is going to provide traction in forward and backward and side-to-side movements. And they'll have just enough cushioning for sprinting and jumping. But I wouldn't recommend these to a customer looking to run or walk daily in them. Basketball shoes are engineered specifically for the dynamic, multi-directional movements of basketball, prioritizing rapid acceleration, hard lateral cuts, and high impact jumps. Volleyball shoes are very similar to basketball shoes in that they are designed for the dynamic, multi-directional, high impact demands of the sport. The only difference really being that volleyball shoes are going to have a flatter, wider sole. And I forgot to mention this with basketball shoes, but both volleyball and basketball shoes are going to have a non-marking rubber compound, which means that you won't leave scuff marks on the nice polished gym floor. A court shoe is designed for racket sports like tennis, pickleball, and badminton. Court shoes are going to be engineered with a flat outsole designed for quick pivoting. They're going to have reinforced sidewalls for lateral or side-to-side movements, and a durable cushioning to protect your joints from heavy impacts. Tennis shoes also feature a non-marking rubber compound outsole. Hiking boots are purpose-built outdoor footwear designed to give you traction in varied and rugged terrain while also protecting your foot. They're typically going to be made out of a durable material, such as leather or some kind of composite. Their outsoles are going to feature all these lugs here to give you lots of grip in loose dirt, wet rocks, things of that nature. They're going to feature A nice cushy midsole so you don't get foot fatigue on longer hikes. And some hiking boots, including this one from Columbia, this is the Columbia Newton Ridge, are going to feature a stainless steel shank in between the midsole and the outsole. We'll get into what a shank is later. A hiking shoe is essentially the same as a hiking boot, except it's going to have a lower cut to the ankle here. It's going to be much lighter weight, but it's still going to give you good traction and lots of varied terrain because they have this rugged outsole here with lots of lugs. A trail shoe bridges the gap between running trainers and a hiking boot. So you get all the benefits of a running shoe, such as a nice, super thick, cushy midsole, a lightweight upper, nice, breathable material, a very grippy, traction-heavy outsole here with lots of lugs. But they're not going to be designed to handle as rugged of trails as a hiking boot or a hiking shoe, for example. So recommend these to customers who like to hike long distance or frequent their local well-maintained trails. They're a great option. The last type of shoe that we sell are skate shoes, which are designed to handle the daily abuse and heavy abrasion from a skateboard's grip tape. So that means they're going to feature an extra layer of some kind of material on the toe cap. They're going to have very thick foxing, and they're going to have a nice, very flat outsole to provide the best board control possible. Let's touch again on a couple key talking points about the uppers of shoes. To clarify, the upper is kind of a blanket statement used to talk about everything above the midsole. So that's going to be your toe vamp, your heel counter, your tongue, but mostly it's in reference to what material the upper is made of. So this hiking boot, for example, has a leather upper, which means it's going to be very abrasion resistant. It's going to be much more durable than, say, a running shoe, but they're not going to be as breathable, and they're going to be much heavier. This shoe from Terex, the Free Hiker, has a Gore-Tex upper, which means it's going to be lightweight, but waterproof and very breathable. Gore-Tex is a specialized, waterproof, and breathable fabric membrane used primarily in outdoor and technical clothing, but also has its applications in footwear and some other assorted gear, such as tents. Gore-Tex is an excellent selling point. The next important talking point of a shoe's upper is the toe vamp. This is where most of the breathability is going to come in. So, for example, again, a leather toe vamp is going to be heavier, but more durable, less breathable, but very protective. Whereas a running shoe, for example, is going to have a very lightweight, very breathable mesh toe vamp. So it's not going to be very protective, but it's going to be super lightweight and really wick moisture very well. The last important talking point of the upper is going to be the collar here. Especially on running shoes, like I mentioned before, they're going to be very thick and plushy to really lock in the heel. People that are concerned with their shoes falling off or something, definitely talk about the collar here. Now let's get into some key talking points about the lower. First and foremost is going to be the midsole. The midsole is the part of the shoe most responsible for how the shoe feels underfoot. The midsole is going to be very activity-based in its design. Under Armour features their Hover, UA Flow, and UA Charged midsoles. Each midsole has their specific application. First, let's talk about Hover midsoles from Under Armour. Hover midsoles are going to be the most impact absorbing and highest energy return. So that means they're going to be the best for running because they absorb shock and give you energy return, which means it has a springy, almost zero gravity feel, says Under Armour. Under Armour Flow midsoles are going to be best for speed training and indoor court sports. Shoes with a UA Flow midsole are going to be very lightweight and feature a rubberless outsole. These shoes are going to be very bouncy and very responsive. Because the material is durable enough to act as the outsole, they're able to save lots of weight because they don't need that extra layer of rubber. Under Armour claims these provide unparalleled grip. The last type of midsole material from Under Armour is their charged foam. Charged midsoles are designed for durability and impact. These shoes are going to be best for everyday training, gym workouts, and cross training. Expect firm, highly durable and highly protective qualities from this midsole material. This material disperses impact and shock into a high spring push-off feel. For Adidas midsoles, we carry their Dream Strike, Light Strike Pro, Light Strike, and Cloud Foam midsoles. Light Strike midsoles offer a bouncy, balanced, and firm feel that's very snappy. Light Strike Dream soles are going to be good for speed work and daily training, while Light Strike Pro is a super light, max bounce foam specifically engineered for race day super shoes. Dream Strike is going to be very similar to Under Armour's Hover Foam, best for long distance running and max cushion. Cloud Foam midsoles are going to be best for step-in comfort for everyday walking and casual wear. This will be their cheapest midsole option. For Columbia, we carry their TechLite Plus and Omni Max midsole options. TechLite Plus is a very responsive, very stable midsole option. They're designed to be highly durable while keeping weight to a minimum. Best for light and fast walking and long treks where fatigue is a considerable factor. Their OmniMax midsoles are going to be the most impact absorbing and cushiest feeling midsole option. For Innovate, we carry their FlySpeed Pro midsoles. These are going to be best for long distance running, ultra marathoners, and runners seeking the highest impact absorption that they can possibly get. Another very important part of the shoe that sits between the upper and the lower is called the insole. All shoes have an insole. An insole or footbed is a removable layer inside your shoe that sits directly beneath your foot. An insole provides cushioning, structural arch support, and shock absorption. Whether it's just a layer of canvas or felt commonly found in skate shoes, some shoes will have a specific insole designed to pair very well with their midsole. For example, some Adidas shoes feature their OrthoLite insole. These are designed to provide long-lasting cushioning, moisture management, and breathability while resisting compression over time. Select styles from Vans will feature their PopCush insole. This is Vans' best option for high-impact cushioning and energy return. They are highly regarded by skaters and snowboarders because they have a great pop-back feel and they won't pack out over time. PopCush insoles are an excellent feature to upsell customers on, as many skate shoes don't feature an insole or midsole of any substantial quality. And what I mean by that is in Vans' Authentic line, their insole is just a layer of canvas. Innovate features their Boomerang insoles. Boomerang insoles are a high-performance, maximum cushion, maximum energy return system. As you can see, they feature all these little foam beads that compress under impact and spring back for high energy return. Innovate claims that these provide 40% greater energy return to propel you forward with each and every stride. It's important to note that some customers might have specific needs. For many customers, all the shoes that we have on the walls will fit and feel just fine, but customers with a high arch or mid-height arch will need a little bit more. For these customers, you can recommend them a separately sold pair of insoles, such as this option from Superfeet. You take out the old insole in the shoe that you're wanting to put them in, and then slip these in. To get them sized properly, you take a pair of scissors and cut off a little bit of the toe material until they fit snugly in the shoe. If the customer is concerned with saving money and are budget-oriented, recommend them an arch-supporting shoe like a running or trail shoe. These are going to be their best options. The last important talking part of a shoe's lower is the outsole. Consider your shoe's outsole like a car tire. The large majority of outsoles are going to be made out of rubber. But why rubber? Just like car or bike tires, rubber provides excellent traction, durability, all while saving weight. The outsole is going to be the most activity-based in its design, so when talking about an outsole, there's a few things to keep in mind. First is the sport or activity the shoe is designed for. A hiking boot, for example, is going to have a very rugged, lug-heavy outsole design, designed to keep you from slipping in terrain like loose rocks, dirt, things of that nature. Whereas a running shoe, where it's designed to keep you from slipping and keep good traction on surfaces like asphalt or concrete, are not going to be as gnarly. They're going to be much flatter and much lighter. Second is the compound of the rubber. If the customer is looking for a non-marking shoe designed for outdoor or indoor court play, recommend them a basketball, volleyball, or tennis shoe. Their soles are going to be designed to not leave scuff marks. Third are double durometer outsoles. These outsoles are going to have sectioned pieces of the outsole, often indicated with different colored rubbers. This light blue section, for example, is going to be made with a higher durometer or more durable rubber compound. As you can see, they place this in a high wear zone of the shoe, right under the ball of the foot, where most of the weight is going to be transferred. This means that the high wear zone of the shoe is going to wear evenly with the lower wear zones of the shoe, as the rest of the outsole is made with a lower durometer or more grippy type of rubber compound. A very large majority of the shoes that we sell are going to have a proprietary, unmarked, unlabeled outsole that's kind of just a generic rubber, but some options have specific outsoles. For example, this option from the Adidas Terrex line features Continental rubber. You might have heard of Continental from car tires or bike tires, and their design is very similar in how they applied it to the shoes. Terex claims that their Continental rubber outsoles deliver exceptional tire-inspired traction on wet and dry surfaces. These outsoles are designed for rugged environments and are designed to keep you from slipping on surfaces like loose gravel, dirt, rocks, and roots, wet or dry. It maximizes durability and ensures confident footing in many different types of outdoor terrain. The rubber compound is highly resistant to abrasion and can withstand many miles of wear and tear without rapid wear. Also from Terex feature their proprietary Traction, spelled with an X, outsoles. Traction outsoles are a specialized rubber tread designed for maximum grip on varied terrain in the outdoors. Inspired by mountain bike tires, they feature specifically shaped multi-directional lugs that dig deep into dirt and mud alike. Columbia features their OmniGrip outsoles. OmniGrip is an advanced multi-terrain system designed to provide traction on varied outdoor conditions on wet and dry surfaces. They all do the same thing. I mean, geez Louise. Not specifically an outsole, but it is noteworthy, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier. On Columbia's Newton Ridge here, they have a steel shank embedded in between the outsole and the midsole. A shank, in this case a steel shank, provides essential structural support. It prevents the arch from collapsing under pressure, and it helps distribute body weight evenly. A big advantage of a steel shank, or any shank for that matter, is that it will also protect the foot from sharp and jagged rock edges, for example, or from stepping on a nail, for example. Will protect the bottom of your foot. The last important talking point of a shoe's lower is the foxing and toe cap. This is an easy indicator of what the shoe might be designed for. It's an easy indicator of what the shoe is designed for because they're designed to provide extra durability and abrasion resistance. So that being said, foxing and toe caps are usually featured on shoes designed to be outdoors because of their abrasion resistance. The next most common sight of foxing and toe caps are going to be on skate shoes. Because skate shoes are constantly exposed and designed to be exposed to a skateboard's grip tape, which is a very coarse sandpaper essentially, they need extra material. Shoes without foxing or a toe cap are usually running shoes, as these are designed to be as lightweight as possible and are not designed to be used in rugged terrain. Thank you very much for watching this informative video on shoes, their parts, and their respective technologies. We'll see you on the next one.